take a little commercial break here with Pastor Ron Kelly before we move to our next segment.
Hello, friends. My name's Pastor Ron Kelly, and I'm excited to tell you about an amazing faith-based health conference that's going to be in the sunny Southwest, Phoenix, Arizona, March 27 to March 29. The title of the conference, Will You Be Made Whole? We're going to have over a dozen health and wellness professionals there sharing with you how to improve your life physically, mentally, spiritually, and relationally. It's something you won't want to miss. And on top of those amazing speakers, we have two very special guests. One is Charlie Kirk, who many people don't know as a Sabbath keeper. He's going to sit on a panel where we talk about the seventh day, rest, renewal, relationship to God. And then Dr. Ben Carson, the renowned neurosurgeon, who's going to be a part of a panel discussion dealing with physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. These two men will make the conference worth it all by themselves. But the socializing, the amazing education, the connecting, and the new beginnings that are there waiting for you and me. I'll be participating in the conference. I'm looking forward to it. March 27 to March 29, Phoenix, Arizona, the Dream City Church. Well, how to become a part of it? Go to thewisdompearl.org, sign up today, and plan to be a part of one of the most transformative and highly social and spiritually blessing events you've ever been a part of. I can't wait to be there. It's going to be transformative. I hope to see you there. Start planning now, thewisdompearl.org, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Dream City, Phoenix, Arizona, March 27 to March 29. God be with you, and I'm looking forward to the event.
This is a very, very interesting. Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, very interesting. Wisdom Pearl is Brother Hank is part of the Wisdom Pearl movement, and they want to come back also to Advent Media Connect.
Oh, that's great.
But I want to quickly, I like what the remark that he said here before we move to Dr. Bach. Is going to get interesting.
True.
In a minute.
Thomas Aquinas.
I would like to talk about Charlie Kirk. Most people didn't know this, and I mentioned it, but people didn't know. Charlie Kirk is a Sabbath keeper. He is political strategist as well. Big. I mean, is actually a very smart guy. I give him some credit for that. But again, yeah, he's not a Seventh-day Adventist, but he keeps the Sabbath, and he's going to tell you why he does. But most people didn't know this, so I'm going to share this video with you, and you can understand the significance of why there is a relationship with some Seventh-day Adventists and Charlie Kirk, because there is an opening to minister as well.
So I'm a TikToker, and I'm wondering what your opinion is on the platform. And
yeah, I won't hold that against you. So,
well, my question for that is, why do conservatives blame stuff like TikTok instead of trying to utilize these things?
Yeah,
and
I mean, look, that's a fair question. I think TikTok's mostly garbage, but I will look. I mean, it is a garbage platform. It just is. It is designed by neuroscientists to make you dumb and easy to control. It's every single study shows that the whole model is to try to be hyper addictive in a short video format. Does that mean conservatives should engage on it? Of course, it's the biggest app for anyone under 25. I'll tell you this right now: if you want any form of success in your life other than being a TikToker, get off TikTok. It's just you're not going to flourish by being on that application. The redeemable value of TikTok is negative. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just being very honest, right? But I want more people like you that are not woke on there, hopefully enlightening people and pushing back against it. But it's a Chinese military operation. It's owned by the Chinese Communist Party to make American teenagers and American 20-year-olds super dumb. And easy to control.
They don't let their young people on it. They actually have. I'm not saying this is good.
They banned TikTok for their young people.
Yeah, I'm not saying that this is good necessarily, but they actually have time limits, and they only allow their young people to look at science videos.
I think that's really good.
So
no, I mean I was just so you know, I've lobbied for 2 things in my life. I was lobbying Trump so hard to ban TikTok in America. I was like, you got to sign the executive order, get out of these kids' phones. Depression will go down, everything will go up, and I failed.
I agree with that. I agree with that. What I was saying is I don't think the government should be necessarily setting time limits on your phone for how long you can be doing something as a general principle. But I do agree TikTok is terrible. And just girls, let me say, I don't know if you know this, but I heard this person who used to work at Instagram talking about this on a podcast. And the reason why TikTok is so addictive, especially for girls, is because you know how on Instagram you can do a filter, makes your nose a little smaller, makes your eyes a little more cat eye, but you can actually see, okay, this person is using a filter, I'm using a filter. Well, TikTok has a natural filter that does all of that without telling you. So the reason why you love how you look on TikTok is not because you suddenly look better than you do in the mirror. It's because it's a distortion of your image, which, wow, that is so demonic. So just consider that.
Yeah, and so look, I hate social media as it is. I have none of the apps on my phone. I'm super blessed to be able to have a team that publishes all of our stuff for me. I think TikTok, Twitter, which I'm not on anymore. It's awesome. Instagram and YouTube destroy souls. We got along really well as human beings before these ridiculous applications. I say this as a total hypocrite, by the way. I have like 7 million followers on all these platforms. But is it a hypocrite, or am I a subject matter expert to tell you how awful these are? So I want you to think about that. Right? So I benefit from it. We have a following because of it. And I'm here to tell you your life will not improve the more time you spend on these apps. And people say, oh, Charlie, I got it under control. I'm like, okay. If people email me, I say, prove it. Screenshot your screen time for the last week and send it. They never do. Of course not. It's like they don't want the
I'm kind of convicted by this conversation right now.
Yeah, well, and I'll say one other. I mean, I'm going to challenge you guys on one thing. And Allie, I don't know if you know this. Last July, I was traveled all across the country last year. I was getting really stressed and just worn down, typical stuff that happens on the road. And a pastor friend of mine said, Charlie, you got to take a Sabbath. And I was like, oh, we're not bound by that commandment, whatever. And he really convicted me. So every Friday night, I take a Jewish Sabbath, turn off my phone Friday night to Saturday night. The world cannot reach me, and I get nothing from the world. It will bless you infinitely. Now, I'm not saying you're bound by the law as a Christian. I'm not saying that that's something you have to do. I'm saying it will make your life better. It was important enough that God put it as one of the 10 commandments. And I will say, there's debate in some theological circles that we are bound to it because it predated the law. God rested after creation. So I want you to think about that. So Friday night to Saturday night, no one can reach me. And I wake up, I wake up on Saturday night, I open up my phone, 600 text messages, 900, whatever. But it is the best 24 to 25 hours. And if every young person took a legitimate Sabbath from Friday night to Saturday night, I guarantee you, anxiety would go down, depression would go down, you'd actually spend time with people you care about, meaningful conversations would happen. So I challenge you, if you incorporate that in your life, there's no negative. The only negative would possibly be if you had to contact someone in an emergency. If it's an emergency, then fine, open up your phone. That's a separate conversation. Emergencies don't happen every week, and if they do, you got other problems, right? So take the Sabbath, take it seriously, and I think you should take a permanent Sabbath from TikTok. But you and I could talk about that at a different time. But I do want to say, the fact you're creating on it, good for you. I mean that. As a conservative, we need creators on it. You asked me a moral question about TikTok, which I think is from the...
Wow.
Well, TikTok's been banned.
Yeah, TikTok was banned. That's what I was about to say yesterday. My niece and my Josiah, his son, our son, my bonus child, they were mourning the loss of TikTok. We were celebrating my mom's birthday, and you should have seen them. They were they were very upset. I saw on Facebook posts, other people were upset. Mm-hmm. I know my daughter mentioned something about it too, because they had called her. It just is such a blessing. And then I saw one parent say, many of you will probably be excited, can Roblox be next? I said, yes, please let Roblox be next.
Yeah. But they had political reasons for banning it.
Oh, of course. I understand that.
They had political. It's like Chinese, but... And again, there's other things as well. But what he says, based on the study in the short,
in every study I've seen, everything I've seen now, I'm not no neuroscientist to know, because we know that some things are said that weren't studied correctly. But in this case, we can see the impact that it's had on people that we know.
Absolutely.
And love. So I am so grateful for that. And then as far as him keeping the Sabbath, what a powerful testimony that is.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. The Sabbath keeping message is it's an interesting thing. And again, he's in a conservative circle where most people keep Sunday. And there's a lot you can say about that. And the fact he's going to be, he's connecting with Seventh-day Adventists and stuff. They're talking about the Sabbath. So that means a lot of conservatives and Sunday keeping people who follow him, are going to listen to some of our messages as a result. This has been condemned online by some other people. I don't even want to go into this, but I'm like, why would you condemn something like that? This is an opportunity for us to minister and to appeal to a group of people that we oftentimes think are going to come in. And the truth is, yes.
What was condemned?
It was condemned, the meeting that Pastor Ron Kelly talked about. Some people condemn that. Yeah. They say, oh, this is political, this is political, this is political. It's not three angels' messages. I'm like, if you're going to talk about the health message, feel God to give them glory. Mm-hmm. That's three angels' messages. What the Bible says also, like whatever you eat or drink, 2 Corinthians 10:31.
Whatsoever you do.
Whatsoever you do, do it all to the glory of God. So the health message is part of the giving glory to God. So if you're talking about health in any way, any form, you're kind of preaching the 3 angels messages in that segment. So I wouldn't disqualify the message just because, it has some element of politics in it. Unfortunately, you can't escape that. You live in that world.
The 3 angels message has it all. I mean,
but that's what it calls about.
Yeah.
The whole idea.
The 3 angels message in totality covers everything. There's nothing left out.
Yeah.
It's just what we're used to hearing.
That's
The
right.
traditional way of presenting the 3 angels message.
Correct.
Is probably uncomfortable for people.
Yeah.
But when God is talking about come out, He is not saying come out a part of it.
Yeah.
That's half of our problem. We want to keep our toes in. Got to come out of it all. All of it has to do with, they all intersect and interconnect. So
Absolutely.